There were shapes on top of it too. It looked exactly like a magic carpet with people sitting on top. But surely that was ridiculous. The next moment it whooshed away through the trees into the distance, leaving behind it a trail of rainbow light, which hung in the air for just a moment. Rosie stared. Had she really just seen that? Rosie changed out of her nightshirt as quickly as she could, then hurried down the old wooden staircase 2 steps at a time. She needed a closer look at that carpet. "Dad, where are my binoculars?" she yelled. She heard a big crash and the sound of tumbling pans, followed by her father's voice. "I'm not sure, Pumpkin. We're a little bit busy down here. Can it wait?" At the bottom of the stairs, her shirt snagged on something. She looked down to see a big snake's head carved around the stair post, and her sleeve had caught on its fang. "I am never," she thought, "going to get used to this place." She made her way through the arched doorway into the yellow kitchen. It was a mess of half-emptied boxes and upside-down furniture. "Morning, honey." Rosie jumped back as a cardboard box spoke to her. Then her mother popped up out of it, dust in her hair. "Breakfast is on the counter." Her father appeared holding a hammer in one hand and an old phone in the other. "Morning, Rosebud," he said, looking a bit confused. "What was it you were looking for?" "Never mind," Rosie called, grabbing a banana and a croissant as she slipped out of the back door. "Croissants are a plus for the new house," she thought, biting into the buttery pastry as she looked up at the sky. The rainbow trail had disappeared now, but Rosie knew which direction the flying carpet had gone in. The overgrown tangle behind the cottage couldn't have been more different from their pretty little balcony in the city. Rosie ducked under overhanging branches and around spiky bushes as she fought her way to the back of the yard and the forest, keeping her eyes on the spot where she'd last seen the flying carpet. Rosie tried to push aside a particularly overgrown bush, only to find that it wasn't a bush at all, but an old stone fountain. Pulling away the tangled ivy, Rosie saw that it was covered with carvings of animals, including a large bird with outstretched wings, a scaly dragon, and a laughing mermaid. Rosie was surprised to see that the bowl of the fountain was filled with a crystal-clear pool of water. She was even more surprised that the bottom of the pool was covered with silver coins. She reached into the water and pulled one out. On one side was a star, and on the other was a fish. She had never seen anything like it before, so she tucked it into her pocket to show her parents later. Looking around, Rosie could see the tumbled-down fence that marked the end of the yard and the start of Starfall Forest. The flying carpet might be just inside. Rosie dashed forward, but paused when she saw that something else was moving nearby. She looked, but it was just a collection of weedy plant pots and a small tree stump. Wait, was it a tree stump? The tree stump seemed to be moving. No, not just moving, walking. It had dainty little legs, twig-like arms, and a strip of moss above its mouth. Rosie giggled to herself. It had a moss stash. The tree stump creature was tipping the plant pots up one by one and inspecting the area underneath. Rosie didn't dare to make a sound. She watched, totally fascinated, as the sweet little creature bustled about. It muttered quietly and scratched its head with a twiggy arm. "Where can it be?" the tree stump said in a creaky voice.